Welcome back. On average, two motorcyclists die in a crash on Texas roadways every day. The Texas Department of Transportation also states 557 riders lost their lives and nearly 2,500 were seriously injured in crashes in 2025. But how does the city of Austin fare when it comes to motorcycle crashes, and what is the city doing about them? To talk about that, I have Joel Meyer. You are with the Transportation Safety, well, you're the Transportation Safety Officer with Austin Transportation and Public Works. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, let's run through some of the numbers here so people can have some context of what we're talking about. The number of motorcycle collisions in Austin has gone down since 2022. From 26 in 2022 to 75 in 2023 to 44 in 2025 and 17 so far this year. As for the motorcycle deaths in Austin, there were 20 in 2022, and so far this year we've had 7, and that's a whole list right there on the screen of the breakdown of those numbers. Why are we seeing a decrease in motorcycle collisions? That's great news.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Vision Zero, we're really all about eliminating traffic fatalities and serious injuries. And so we're never going to stop that work until we get to zero. But we have seen some encouraging signs over the past couple of years. So I think a few things are happening. One is that we saw a big increase in motorcyclist fatalities during the pandemic years, where we saw a lot of dangerous driving behaviors, a lot of speeding, a lot of drunk driving. I think some of those numbers have just naturally come down as more people are out on the roadways. But we've also done a lot of work redesigning streets for safety over the last 10 years. And I think a lot of those intersection improvements we've made and corridor improvements we've made are really starting to show results in terms of slowing down vehicles, providing greater separation between vehicles and motorcyclists, improving lighting, things like that. So I think there's a number of different factors that are really coming to play, but we're glad to see those numbers start to come down.
Right, that's great news. What do you guys have planned for the future to try to help get those numbers down to zero?
We know that the most effective thing we can do is really make progress on redesigning our streets for safety. So Austin voters have approved bond funding for Vision Zero across 3 different bond elections over the last decade. And we're really using that funding to redesign streets throughout the city, looking at our high crash corridors, looking at high risk intersections, improving lighting. We think that's the number one thing we can do to improve safety. We're also starting to see more proactive traffic enforcement out on our roadways. And so we're really trying to strengthen our partnership with APD as more patrol officers come out onto the streets, really trying to share data and focus on those areas where we can see the biggest impact in improving safety.
Okay, so you just gave us a long list of all the things you guys are working on to improve the roadways. What can people do to help you all out in this effort?
Yeah, so we really view this problem as a problem of shared responsibility. So really what that means is, of course, people on motorcycles have a responsibility to go the speed limit, not drive drunk, not drive distracted, all those kinds of things. But we also think there's a responsibility amongst the general traveling public. So people in cars really need to make sure they're looking out for motorcyclists, checking their rear view mirrors, giving motorcyclists plenty of space. And then on the system designer standpoint, people like me, planners and engineers, we have a responsibility to design streets that are safe. So really all these things come together. But really some of the tips we try to stress, for motorcyclists, going the speed limit, wearing a US DOT approved motorcycle helmet is really important. And then for drivers, really just slowing down, giving people space, and really looking out for motorcyclists on the roadway.
All right, great tips. Joel Meyer with the City of Austin. Thank you so much for being here with us.